Thank you, Trish. In 24 hours, President Trump will deliver his State of the Union address and a speech he hopes will unite the country. But the president is far from united with one of the two people who will be seated closest to him. Welcome back.
Thank you, Kenny.
So you have been in this position many times when you worked for George W. Bush and putting together a State of the Union.
Right.
It was a different kind of wartime.
Well, every year for tomorrow's Wall Street Journal, if he invites comparison, if someone offered, that's your one advice. If someone says, should I accept?
All right. Thanks so much, Will. Good to talk to you.
All right. Thank you, Kenny.
All right. Border security, no doubt, will be at front and center in tomorrow's speech, but the president will focus on a host of other issues as well. Among them, his quest to end U.S. involvement in endless foreign wars, America's trade relationship with China, and the president is also expected to announce the date of his second summit with North Korea's Kim Jong-un. But he will talk about being in a pickle and very deep yogurt. Virginia Governor Ralph Northam still resisting calls from top Democrats all over to resign over a photo from his 1980s. There are two things that strike me about this. One is the number of lawmakers going, holy crap, what's in my yearbook? And, you know, people seeing Ralph Northam and Brett Kavanaugh. And I think Northam looks at Kavanaugh and goes, you know what, if you just stay in there, the news cycle changes fast enough. But then his bizarre defense of the whole thing. And like, well, yeah, I mean, I wore blackface for a Michael Jackson contest, but I love Michael Jackson, so there's no harm there.
And you missed the important element. He has they want to do the same thing that the Democrats do to us all the time.
It's fascinating, though, and it kind of speaks to the type of people who want to be politicians in this day and age. Because I think if you want to run for office, you have to screw loose.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right, because they're going to started this. So now we got to keep going with it.
Yeah, and unfortunately you do. But, you know, the problem is you don't sufficiently explain your past and what you were doing and your belief system. And that was always my problem with Robert Byrd. You know, I don't feel that someone who was a Grand Kleagle in the KKK, you know, it's like, and I do believe in redemption. I do believe that people can evolve and they can be saved, but you have to explain that process.
Why did you change? Why was
important thing?
And this is why people won't forgive him.
Shifting stories and making excuses.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, the whole thing. So does he stay?
Oh, he's going to resign because allegations about him is coming to light as well.
Politics is a dirty business.
And he's leaking that stuff. I thought you guys were friends.
It's the whole thing is crazy.
Power.
All right. Well, thank you for being here. I will see you tomorrow night.
Tomorrow,
Fox Nation.
Coverage.
Absolutely. We will be covering State of the Union. And we'll be there with you. Very good. Coming up, new polls show that more Americans. This zero-sum populism that has taken root in both parties has got to go. Regardless of how someone acquired their wealth through work or luck, there is this rush on both sides to fan the flames of jealousy.
Thanks for having us.
So it's so funny because they've got all their guns trained on Joe Biden right now, and he keeps rising to the top. It's the name recognition, but of course not. That's my cause.
Exactly. That's my cause. Intersectionality. That's my cause. That is not a argument that resonates with a Midwest voter who feels left behind.
But I agree with Maddie.
That was the math that worked for Trump.
Absolutely.
And the question for Democrats is what math is going to work.
But is that enough?
I think they're going to look at the poll Democratic candidate, which is what are they running on? Now, you guys gave me some flack for Tulsi focusing on an issue
where I agree with her, but she's going
homogenous in their opinions on Medicare
and Michael Moore is saying go further left. He's saying don't be a moderate. You cannot be in the middle. We have to go to extremes.
And so that's the problem, is that now they've gone to these extremes. They're almost indistinguishable from one another. So to Maddie's point, it's bringing up terms like intersectionality and character traits that otherwise wouldn't be considered sort of issue areas. So like, you know, with Elizabeth Warren now, that's created a problem because she's had to go on an apology tour with the Cherokee Nation for trying to claim intersectionality.
This is where the base is.
The last 20 years have seen Democrat move.
Big split in the Democrat Party, and I don't think it's the progressives who can win the White House.
I agree.
I think they can win these local races. I think there's plenty of room for the cult of personality within that wing. I don't think that wing leads the party when it comes to a national race, but we shall see. The panel returns after the break. A Hawaiian lawmaker is proposing a bill about nannying. You know,
These politicians, it's funny to watch.
We always have this paternal.
Sure, smoking isn't great. A lot of things aren't great. Being sedentary is actually worse than smoking, but the more the government is involved in healthcare, and they're going to be all in with Medicare for all, the more they're going to tell you what you can and cannot do. So it starts
and regressive to the people that they purport to support the most.
Yeah.
And so, look, I think that this is just totally antithetical to where a new generation of Americans is coming up in terms of liberty and choice.
Do you think people are going to give up smoking, or will they find a different way to get cigarettes?
I mean, obviously, the popularity of e-cigarettes is rising, so it wouldn't surprise me if there were alternatives available that they would use them. But at the same time, I think that the more you tell people that they can't do something, the more they're going to want to do it.
How does prohibition work?
Yeah,
Look, there's
exactly.
a difference.
How does prohibition with anything work? Look at the drug war. Look at immigration.
And the difference between when you do things that aren't
Absolutely
harming
right.
other individuals.
Look at this party panel. Thank you so much, Maddie,
Thank you.
Clinton, and
Thanks,
Alex.
Kennedy.
Great to see you all. A topical storm is next. Grab your umbrella. Super Bowl 53 hit a 10-year low in viewership. CBS got absolutely tattooed in the ratings, but if we're being honest, nobody got tattooed worse than Adam Levine. Put a shirt on and wallow in mediocrity, because this is the topical storm. Toxicology results were not released, but police say she was so drunk she claimed Cory Booker would win the presidency. That's going to hurt her case more than the video of her drinking in the road. Belly down, heads up. Topic number 4. We now head to Manchester, England. Hello. Where commuting is a slippery slope this time of year. Thanks for watching the best hour of your day. Tomorrow night, I'll be hosting Fox Nation's coverage of the State of the Union from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern. The show is back on Wednesday. Good night.